We did not know, and many of you may not as well, that Florida, North Florida and the Eastern Panhandle is filled with what's called first magnitude springs. These are absolutely phenomenal springs, and we're just discovering them, and we really love them.
Yes.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth. Live simple,
Live free.
We decided to travel a little bit and come to a place we researched and found. This is called West Skiles Peacock Springs State Park.
Now we talked about, I mentioned that first magnitude spring, and they are all over the place. This is a second magnitude spring, which means it only has slightly less water flow, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is an amazing place.
Well, it's beautiful.
And it is a scuba diver's paradise. So let's go take a look at the spring.
I only wish it was a super bright sunny day, just so you'd see the depth.
Right.
Incredible.
Hundreds of scuba divers from around the globe visit the park yearly to enjoy one of the most extensive and beautiful cave systems in the world. Of course, it's all underwater.
This park was named to honor the late Wes Skiles. He was a cave diver, explorer, photographer, motion picture documentary, filmmaker, and springs advocate. Apparently he worked tirelessly throughout his life to protect this park and all of Florida's water resources. That's why they named it this. So it's the West Skiles Peacock Springs.
Wheelchair access.
What?
Wheelchair access.
Yeah, isn't that cool? You can go all the way down here.
And you can just kind of enter how you want to enter. Like, you can dive in head first. You can.
So this is the second magnitude. Wow. But this is.
Yeah.
Oh wow! You can see the water is bubbling up over there.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought, but I think that's scuba divers over there with the bubbles, bubbles coming up.
Scuba divers. Oh yeah, very definitely. Oh, how cool is that?
Is the rock over here. That is right off like all this.
Scuba bubbles.
Yep.
Down at the bottom. So I'm gonna dive.
Oh, I bet that's the most amazing place to scuba
Scuba
dive.
Turn, dive, pass me, and then I'll turn and follow you.
I can see some light colors right in there, and that's way, way down there, I think. Can't tell what it is.
That water is so crystal clear. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Coming towards the camera, you go.
I'm kind of starting to get interested in getting a complete wetsuit.
Are you going to be alright sticking with that one for...
Look at the depth there. I don't know if the camera can begin to show how deep and clear that and blue that water is. I never knew about these springs in Florida till we came down here. I'm so blown away by them. We used to go to springs in Missouri, and I really liked them, but I had no idea there was incredible springs like this in Florida, especially particularly in the north, apparently. Man.
We just shoot a bunch. Yeah, we could shoot it twice. I think one of you like diving in, okay, and then one of you like jumping off this ledge with no fins. Okay.
Are you going to be in the way of some filming?
No, not at all.
So what is a first magnitude spring anyway?
Well, when the water comes up, it's called a first magnitude if it discharges coming up out of the spring at least 64 million gallons of water a day or more. If it was a second magnitude, it goes down by an order of magnitude, and now you're looking at from 6.4 million gallons up to 63.99 million gallons daily coming up out of the spring. And Florida has 33 of the first magnitude springs, which are at least 64 million gallons of water a day that come up out of that spring.
Yeah. Now this spring, the West Skiles Peacock spring, is actually a second magnitude spring, but it's just amazing. What was some of the things you were reading about this spring? It was at the deepest, it was 40 feet deep, and then it had 3 different vents where the water was coming out.
Yeah, 3 different vents, and of course we had tons of scuba divers there.
Yeah.
Apparently the cave systems down in there are just amazing.
It goes down over 100 or 120 feet down into the caves, and apparently it's one of the largest cave systems in the world, but it's all underwater. And every single first magnitude and second magnitude spring has a major scuba community around it.
Oh yeah.
As you can see, all the scuba divers here, and
Yeah.
as we were driving in, we passed several different places, commercial places, where you can learn scuba diving and rent scuba equipment and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a whole scuba community here in North Florida, miles from the coast. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, because of these gorgeous, caves to explore underwater. Yeah. Apparently, it's a certain kind of limestone that we have up here, and in this, this section of Florida, that makes when water comes in, it runs horizontal. It's really cool to me. I just never knew before there was so much incredible fresh. There's a huge aquifer.
Yeah, and we also discovered that the water is extremely pure and clean, and the combination of the springs discharges more water every single day than the entire state of Florida could use.
Yeah, just one of the first magnitudes.
Oh, just one of them?
Just one of them discharges more water per day than as far as drinking water, all the state of Florida uses.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
I don't think it's talking about, watering things or swimming pools in the south or something like that, but just providing drinking water, it discharges that much water. And the more the rain is, then of course the more it refills this aquifer and refills everything. And so apparently September, October are really big times for the springs to be producing a lot because of all the rain over the course of the summer that's been coming in. And so they refresh themselves a lot. In terms of this Peacock Springs, spring, I just came across this. Cave divers travel from all over the world to explore nearly 33,000 feet of surveyed underwater passages at Peacock Springs. This features one of the longest underwater cave systems in the continental United States. And of course you have to show proof that you have certification, especially for cavern scuba diving. That's really awesome. And
you said this is one of the top destinations in the world for underwater cave exploring?
Yeah, I wanted to get that quote. Known around the world for its amazing cave diving, these submerged caverns attract divers to Peacock Springs year-round. Divers have mapped around 10 miles of caves and tunnels so far. And all sorts of critters make their home there, too. That's just really awesome.
Yeah. So year-round caving, so it's nice and warm, right?
Yeah, well, I really brought everything so I could swim today. But it was going to be sunny, but now it's not. It's kind of cloudy, and
it is the middle of November.
It is the middle of November, so it's a little bit cloudy.
It's about 70 degrees right now, but there's no sun.
Yeah, which we're out here in shirt sleeves basically, but the cave is about 69 to 71 degrees, something like that.
The water.
The water. Yep, and I've got the wetsuit vest, which really helps, but I want to get more familiar with it. Getting in and getting out on this one. I love swimming in them, but especially because it's really cloudy, I don't think I'd be able to see quite as well, and I'm afraid that it'd be just maybe, I hate to have to say this, a little chilly for me today. Very hard for me to admit that, I'm about ready to get myself an entire wetsuit.
Yeah.
So
Now for me, I mean, she was swimming in these springs before she got this wetsuit vest.
oh yeah.
For me, I don't get in water that's below 85 degrees. So I would never get in unless I had a complete full, probably dry suit.
Yeah. Well, I've so far swum in like 68 degrees up to 72 degrees with the springs, and just loved it. But like I said, today it's just a little not hot. Anyway, I hate to admit it, but I'm loving looking at it, but I'm chickening out swimming in it. So, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to swim again when we go to a different one, or we might come back sometime and I'll swim then. So, what an incredible place to scuba dive, hon.
Yeah.
All right. Can you go swim into my shot?
Yeah, give me one. Let me put my fins on.
Yeah.
I wonder how deep that is out there. It's so dark. You can see down there. It's just, I gotta admit, that'd be an awesome place to have snorkel on and goggles.
So for me, I want to be able to hold a constant.
Step one, in the water.
So we are loving discovering these springs, and like I said, they're all over in North Florida and down around the Big Bend and out into the Panhandle.
And
so-
kind of just central north, yeah.
Yeah, and so we are really looking forward to exploring more of them. Some of them are well developed, and some of them are state parks that you have to go in and pay to get into. Like this one is a state park, and others are much more wild and not as well developed. But we're just looking forward to seeing many of them.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I really want to try to swim in as many as I can. We got ourselves a Florida State Park pass, so it's really fun just to have that pass, and we can take people with us, and so yeah, it just makes me feel like I belong.
Yeah. So thanks for coming along with us as we explore.
Yeah, live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
Yep, and thanks for joining us, and we love you guys, and of course we'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.